This is Carl at National RV Detroit. I'm going to walk you through this 2019 Bullet Crossfire, and the model number is 1750 RK. Okay, so I'm just going to walk you through it and show you some of the features and how they work. Okay, so to start off with, we've got regular crank down stabilizers. You have a power awning with LED strip, outside speakers. This is an outside shower with hot and cold water. This is your water heater here. This works on both gas and electric. The switches are inside the trailer. I'll show you where they are when we get inside. This is the drain plug right here to drain it. Right now it has water in it, and the valves are in the summer position, so it's all set up for camping. Okay, we'll talk more about that when I get inside. This is your 30 amp shore cord. We're just plugged into a shop cord right now. And farther in there you can see there's cranks. Okay, now that same 3/4 inch crank, when it comes to this power tongue jack, if it ever fails for any reason, you can pull this rubber plug from the top, and you can use that same 3/4 inch crank to crank this power tongue jack manually, so you can always get hitched and unhitched no matter what. So that's a good feature. You have your battery and 2 LP tanks. Okay. That's just a reducer to reduce your 30 amp power cord down to a 20. Okay. Now, these are your water hookups here. So this is the most common way to get water to the trailer right here. This is the city water hookup. You just hook your hose on there, turn it on, and you're all set. Now, if you're camping someplace that doesn't have city water, if you're boondocking or whatever, you can pre-fill your fresh water tank right here, and then use the onboard pump to pump the water. So all your plumbing will work as though you have city water, but you'll be pumping it from your tank. So I'll show you where the switch for the pump is when we get inside also. This particular slide room is called an AccuSlide, just so you know, in case you need to know. It's an AccuSlide. There are different types. Okay, here are your dump valves here. Okay, let me walk down here just so I can take a look at the rest of the undercarriage and see what we're missing. There's your other valve there. Okay, so one right before the axle, one after the axle. Okay, that's just campground cable through into the trailer. That's where your shore cord plugs into, of course. This is a service panel for your refrigerator. This has a gas absorption type refrigerator, meaning that it'll work on 120 AC or LP gas. So that's just a service panel. You don't really have to go in there. Okay, let's go inside. Okay. So we have lights here, your power awning, extend and retract. Never leave your awning out unattended if you're not going to be at the campground. Roll it in. This would be your slide room button here. Like so. These are speaker selector, inside, outside, or both. Your radio or stereo. This has Bluetooth, obviously. It has AM/FM radio. It has a USB drive, so you could put all your MP3s on onto a thumb drive and take them with you. It has all the presets and all the usual features. This HDMI is an in, so if you want to go into the system with an HDMI, let's say you're wired, let's look around here. See how they've got us set up here. Yeah, if this would be wired right to your television. So if you wanted to go into the system with like a portable Blu-ray player, let's say, you'd go right in the HDMI. While we're over here, you can see that there's a green LED here. I can shut it off by doing that, but you always want it on when you're using the antenna. That's basically that LED tells us that that the power for the digital antenna is on, so it's turned on. Okay. Right here is the thermostat. Self-evident. You just push the mode button and it lights it up, and you just keep pushing until you find the mode you want, which like they all do. Your water pump switch is right here. Okay, that's for pumping water out of the fresh water tank if you don't have city water. It's also used to winterize the trailer. Your water heater on, let's see which one we got here. To light your water heater on gas is right here, and the fault light is there. And to light or to turn on the power to the electric side of your water heater is right here. Never run the water heater on gas or electric without water in the water heater tank. Always make sure it's got water in there. What most people do is they'll run it on electric. They get to the campground, they set everything up, and they turn it on electric, and it just keeps the water hot. So when you want to go to the sink or whatever to get some water, hot water, you can do it. But if you're showering, they'll often kick the burner on this way. So you just get more hot water. It's not on demand, but it's a much faster recovery if you run the gas. So you just get faster recovery. And then you have your levels here. Your battery's charged. Gray is empty. Fresh water has some water in it because we're demoing it, so on and so forth. This is your carbon monoxide LP gas detector. It should always be green, like it is. If it's not green, you got to get it serviced. Never ignore it. If it's not working, get a new one. They're not expensive, and it's an important safety device. Okay. Also, while we're standing right here, this is the power converter right here. So this converts AC to DC power. So when you're plugged into shore power, you have regular 120 AC circuit breakers right here, and they're all labeled. Okay. Then the power is converted to 12 volt DC over here on this side. So you got 12 volt DC fuses, and they're all labeled. So it converts AC to DC. So this would be your AC distribution panel, and this would be your DC distribution panel. Also, it has one more function. It'll sense how much energy the battery on the tongue has and needs, and as long as you're plugged into shore power, it'll always send enough amps up there to keep your battery charged. So your tow vehicle charges the battery when you're pulling it down the road, and when you're plugged into shore power, this power converter charges the battery. Okay, so it's a AC to DC converter and a battery charger. Okay. I mentioned that you have gas absorption refrigerator. That would be this right here. It's hard to see, and so if you can see, that's on auto. The light is lit over auto. That's on and off there. That's selecting the mode. You select auto. That's the most common way. Auto means auto electric. Auto means that it always seeks out 120 AC first and uses it. If it can't find it, it'll automatically light on gas, right? If you're gone for the day or you're sleeping and you have a power outage at the campground, it'll sense that and it'll automatically light on the gas so you don't spoil your food. So auto is the best way to do it. If you're pulling it down the road and you want to keep it cool, you can turn it on gas. But generally speaking, auto is the way you want to go. Okay? And another thing, this wire here, that is like a cylinder, plastic cylinder that goes into this clip up here, that's your thermistor. The higher that goes, the cooler the refrigerator is. You want it up all the way, almost always. There are exceptions, but generally speaking, you're going to have it up all the way. You can see it's got a sticker there to remind you that the higher you go with it, the cooler it gets. So if it pulls out of here, this is just a plastic clip. If it pulls out and falls down, you just put it back in the clip and clip it back on the fin there. But generally speaking, it's up all the way, okay? Alrighty. Microwave works like any other microwave. Range hood, you got a fan and a light, of course. Your cooktop is pretty standard. You have to light it with a lighter. So you're just going to turn it on to light. Click it with a grill lighter, and that's it. Your keys are hanging right here on the faucet. Okay, you can drop your tabletop down, take the poles off the bottom, and set the tabletop onto these cleats going around the edge, and turn this into a bed. Okay. Of course, your main bed is right here, and there's some storage underneath. Let's look and see what we've got here. Yeah, we have some storage underneath. That's a carbon monoxide detector, and this one here, let me look around, is your smoke detector. And of course, that's the LP detector we talked about before. They all should be working. They're all important. Of course, just storage. The rest of the cupboards are just storage. Okay. Let's see, the bathroom. So, first thing we see when we walk in here is this GFCI. All the plugs in the trailer, including the one on the outside, are wired through a GFCI. So, even if you're looking at a regular plug, just a regular receptacle, it's still wired through a GFCI. So, if you lose power at one of them, always think GFCI first. Walk around and see if it's tripped. So, keep that in mind. Sink and shower are self-evident. They work like any other one. Here we have the toilet. There's the flush pedal right there. So you can't use it dry. So when you get to the campground, you hook up your power and your water, of course. You'll come in here, excuse me, and you dump a dose of chemical right in the bowl. Then you'll stand on the pedal, hold it down till at least a gallon of water goes in the tank below along with the chemical. Then you're all set. You can use more than a gallon of water, just don't use less. Most people use more, but you never use it dry. If you use it dry with no chemical or water, it'll get clogged up, it'll smell bad, it'll just be a mess. So you always want the dose of chemical and at least a gallon of water when you start off with, okay? All right. And there's, of course, a vent and your air conditioner is right here, but that's controlled from the thermostat here, along with your furnace. Okay, let me look here, see if there's anything else. I think we've pretty much covered it. Okay, I think we're good. So, okay, so I want to thank you for purchasing your trailer here at National RV Detroit. Please remember that the antifreeze has been purged from the system and replaced with fresh water. The valves on the back of the water heater are in camping mode right now, so you're all set for the summer when it comes to that. Never run the water heater without water in the tank, and you're all set. So when you come to pick up, you'll have some more questions, and you can talk to us then, and we can answer any questions you have and get you on your way. Okay? Thank you very much.